What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we're talking Alien Earth from this week. We're talking Peacemaker. We got some news and notes at the end, so stick around if you know what I'm saying. But before we get into all of that, Doug, how's it going today, sir?
Well, Keith, let me tell you, I'm feeling pretty fantastic if I do say so myself. I mean, I got a little, got my hair cut, got some comics, and, I know it looks a little silly, like I got dressed by the Kardashians or something, but yeah, it's growing on me.
Who are the Kardashians?
Huh? Oh, yeah, anyway,
Is this
so,
is this another pop quiz?
yeah, yes, it is, and you got the right answer. Yes. That was the one I was looking for. All right. So, we've got a lot of stuff to discuss because I don't know if you noticed, Keith, but it seemed to be a little light on the nerds this past Thursday. Seemed to be a few too less nerds. I mean, no podcasts, no TV reviews and movie breakdowns or anything existed at all. There was a drought this past Thursday because we weren't there.
That's right. I heard a lot of people crying out in pain. Thousands crying out in agony because we did not stream Thursday night.
Right. So, Keith, sir, how are you doing this wonderful evening?
Well, Doug, as you may have guessed by the results of the sports ball activity this afternoon, I am tremendous.
Which I'm now paying attention to, so I'm now aware of this stuff. Curse you, fantasy football.
But, oh, hey, we got a message on YouTube. Not Your Status Quo. What is your thoughts on Peacemaker Season 2 leading into Man of Tomorrow? We'll definitely talk about that. I'm excited because I think James Gunn writing Superman, writing Peacemaker Season 2, and writing Man of Tomorrow, there'll be a lot of connected pieces between those. You know, he has a lot of thoughts on connecting that, and I'm looking forward to it. And we do have some thoughts on that, but we'll talk about that once we start talking about it. Should we just jump right into Peacemaker?
I think we should. That's a good idea.
Which, episode 3 this week, which was called Another Rick Up My Sleeve, which seemed more like a Rick and Morty title than a Peacemaker.
It did. I thought that, and I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait for Dave to say something. And wait, where's Dave?
He was talking to Boy Cavalier, something about crashing the Not Your Status Quo ship into Prodigy territory. So,
oh no, again,
he's
God. It's the third time this week.
He's always the saboteur. Always. But in this episode, we find out a few things right off the bat. Emilia Harcourt was having an affair with Rick Flag Jr.
Right, which I wouldn't have guessed that. And he also mentions, by the way, that he was still dating the Enchantress from the previous Suicide Squad movie that may or may not have been filmed. I don't know. I guess we kind of go back and forth on that because they do, reference a few things here and there. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. So he was still dating her, but it was more like out of fear because he was afraid of what she would do if he broke up with her.
Yeah, I like that. She's like, oh, you're really full of yourself or whatever. Like she would really go crazy if you broke up with her. But this was right before they were leaving for Corto Maltese, which we know as the Suicide Squad. Yep. So, we're getting those little pieces that are now going to be canon in the DCU. The Enchantress is canon. Her dating Rick Flag Jr. is canon. So, building things up. I don't know if it's going to amount to anything, but those little breadcrumbs have been dropped.
But it kind of does make me want to go back and rewatch The Suicide Squad because I'm curious if James Gunn had kind of pre-planned any of these story ideas out. And I kind of want to know what her reaction was when she found out, Rick Flag Jr. had been killed. So I'm curious, like, did her character show any reaction on screen in the movie when he died?
That's a good question.
That might hint that there was something between them.
I think we're going to have to go back and watch.
Oh, what a shame. Oh, no.
Darn it. But we come back to the present day, and our hero Chris Smith is in the other dimensions bedroom, and he's been well, first he overslept, and his brother comes in to wake him up, and he finds out that dimension's Harcourt said, yeah, hey, meet me up at noon at Argus. Well, she didn't say Argus, but meet me up there. And
At work.
At work, yes, that's what it was. And of course his brother, he's obviously not from that dimension. He's like, can I take one of your cars? Or and he's like, why don't you just take the peace cycle or whatever? He's like,
That's the right answer. I love that. He's trying to. Oh my God. I don't know what that says about his brother in this dimension. If he's just like, really hand wavy over the stuff that Chris says, or is he dumb? Because like Peacemaker's over here playing 20 questions with his brother, trying to figure out like, okay, like the joke that we made in the beginning of the stream, the whole Kardashian thing. So there's clearly a lot of things that are different that Chris references that people in this universe have no idea what he's talking about.
do you? Now, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt, and I don't know if you noticed it. I certainly did. This dimension, there are no people of color anywhere.
I did notice that because I was looking out for it based on our theory from the last time we did this stream. We assumed that was probably what was going to happen. In fact, I think it was you that said Adebayo is probably going to be the key figure in determining which dimension he chooses.
Yep. And it was funny because I didn't think of it at first, but then when I started noticing that it was all white people in Argus, it was all white people on the street, I'm like, they probably don't know the Kardashians because they're people of color. So they never rose to prominence. So even though that was like a joke, it fit. It's going to be one of the clues that, Peacemaker's probably going to finally piece it all together after probably 1,000 clues.
Piece it all together.
Ayo. But, he gets there. He's loving this dimension because people are cheering him on the street, and, everyone's just loving him, and it's what he's always wanted from the other dimension, but never got it. So he's
to be fair, the show that he got when he was on his motorcycle, can't say I would have said no. Just very nice ride to work. My drives to work whenever I have to go to the office, never quite as nice.
No, never.
I suppose maybe if I was John Cena on a motorcycle, it might be better.
Maybe a little bit, a teeny bit. But he finally meets with her, and we find out that she is dating Rick Flag Jr. in this dimension.
Oh, before that, talk about his whole interaction with the guard, because I thought for sure there was going to be some difference in them, and I thought he would end up getting caught there.
I totally forgot about that. I thought the same thing when he had to, get his eye scanned or whatever, and he's like, okay. Let's do it.
And he's like, "Oh God, here we go!" And I'm sitting here, I'm with him the whole time. I'm just like, "Oh God, he's gonna be caught. This is it. It's over. He's ruined. They're gonna catch on to him." I thought for sure that, and then he's like, "Okay, here you go." He's like, "That's me in that picture." Like, couldn't be more obvious.
The guy's probably like, what is wrong with him today?
Right.
But Hunter Iggy says, not your status quo. Don't forget that Red Lion was mentioned in episode 3.
Oh, I didn't. I think I must have missed that.
I must have missed that too.
All right.
Let us know. Let us know, Hunter Iggy. Because obviously Harcourt is dating Rick Flag Jr. in this dimension, but she agrees to go talk with him. And they're kind of, Peacemaker is just kind of being his silly self, trying to get information out of her. And, she eventually says, well, you just weren't able to commit. And he's like, oh, I've changed. I've done all this. And it seems like they are about to reconcile, which is exactly what.
Not to interrupt you, I didn't know who that character was. I just had to look it up. It is a very clear and obvious knockoff of Black Panther. I should have known that based on the name. He is an African president and dictator who usually hires Deathstroke.
Nice.
Yeah. Did not know that. I just learned something new. All right.
But, they're about to maybe figure out to date again or something along those lines when actually they decide to think on it, which we know what Peacemaker is going to think. When one of the Sons of Liberty trips and blows himself up right next to him, and they get kind of knocked back. Which I kind of like. We'll talk about the Sons of Liberty in a minute, but then we see Ebediah and Harcourt talking about Chris in I don't know the right dimension.
The right dimension.
And Harcourt's just kind of like, nah, nothing. There's nothing. Don't talk about it. Don't matter anything, you know. And she thinks there still is, and she's trying to find out information about what happened on the boat. And then, of course, Vigilante wakes up and is being Vigilante. Spider facts, facts.
Which I love that he's so confident in, you know, oh yeah, I know all these bird facts. Ask me anything, and then like he gets asked a simple question. No, I don't know the answer to that one.
Eyes come in pairs, so too. No, that's wrong. Oh, let's see. What is the other Earth? Is Earth 10, Germany 1, World War 2, that piece? Yeah, that's Earth X. And this does seem very Earth X-y. Maybe not as, because there wasn't as many German flags flying and stuff. And this seems like an Earth X, but not exactly Earth X. Because when the Nazis won in that, there was Nazi, flags and everything else on Earth X. You knew when you walked in what had happened. This is not that, but it's close. It's seemingly close.
So I have not seen that before. Was it the way you're describing it kind of sounds very similar to Man in the High Tower?
Yeah, it is. It's basically an Earth where the Germans won, and they've...
All right.
Yeah. Oh my God, and then I just... when she's like, you better go check on him. He might have, be choking on his own vomit.
Oh, and then you just hear, oh!
You just hear in the background, why are your fingers in my mouth?
I swear, that kind of stuff, that gets me every time. It's such a simple, dumb gag to, like, just hear something off screen, but, oh, I will laugh every time. I love that.
Me too. I was, like, expecting it when he ran off,
yeah,
and I still
pretty
giggled.
Much me too.
But, then we find out that the Sons of Liberty are planning to kill as many government officials as they possibly can until their demands are met. And Chris, Peacemaker, basically goes in another building. He doesn't have his uniform, doesn't have his helmet, and basically John Wicks the crap out of these guys.
And it sounds like this must be rather unusual because they all seem kind of surprised that he didn't have his uniform on. The fact that he jumped into action. And then on the reverse, back in normal Earth, Harcourt even makes a comment, making fun of the fact that, like, when Adebayo asks her, like, isn't there anything between you and Chris? And she goes, he dresses like a clown, or he dresses like a jester or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, so on one hand, you've got in the Earth that he's from, nobody respects him and thinks that he dresses goofy. But in this one, it's like, he's not wearing his costume. Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, definitely. And then we see his brother as Captain Triumph just destroy the getaway copter.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't just hold him down and arrest him. He just destroys him and kills him.
I was worried about that. When Chris was going around and he was just killing everyone, I'm like, oh, do they do that in this universe? Like, is he going to get himself in trouble because he, like, just ran around murdering everybody in this building? Because, like, normal Peacemaker, yeah, he does that all the time. People have just kind of come to expect it, like, but in this universe, he just did it without thinking. And I was sitting there wondering, like, oh, are they going to be like, Peacemaker doesn't kill people? But apparently him and his, person that he replaced, I guess they were very similar, more similar than I thought.
And I think we're finding out that maybe the Sons of Liberty, while in the normal universe they're kind of anti-government and stuff, these guys might not be terrorists per se. They might just be because of how this is. I mean, these heroes don't try to save, they just kill people at their whims. It's going to be more like Kingdom Come universe, where the superheroes just make the rules because they're all powerful. They're judge, jury, and executioner, and the people are scared. And I think we're kind of seeing that. When I watch the episode again, people are kind of scared of Peacemaker too. Some of them are cheering him like, "Yeah, you did it," but others are like, "Oh God, he pretty much can do whatever he wants. He could just murder us on the side and get away with it." And so we're finding out maybe the Sons of Liberty are kind of almost the heroes in this universe. And I wonder if when Peacemaker finds out, because I mean, come on, his dad is like a hero in this universe. Do you really think it's that good? But of course, he's gotten whatever.
No.
Yeah.
That was my first giveaway. I'm like, oh, if his dad is a hero in this universe, my first thought was, this has got to be a very racist universe. Either that or he's the only way this works is if it is a racist version of the universe, or he is a completely different individual. Which I was looking at the costume, the fact that he's still the White Dragon. I'm like, yeah, no, he's not different.
Not at all. And so I wonder if Peacemaker, by the end of this, may join forces with them to take down this government, because something's going to happen. They're going to come in. He's going to find out that all these minorities are being held hostage or killed and all this stuff, and he's going to be set off because he is friends with Abadayo. And I think deep down he is not like his dad, because he did kill his dad in the first season for how he was, and I think it's going to be tough for him. Because obviously he wants the love and admiration he's getting from the universe.
He wants that family unit, and it's something that he's missed. A family that actually loved him in his universe. He was racked with guilt his entire life because he thought that, well, I mean, he did, but it wasn't on purpose. Killed his brother, and his dad constantly blamed him for it, even though it was his father that forced the two of them to fight.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be tough when he figures out this is a bad universe. It's going to be a tough decision, and he's going to do the right thing. I think we all know, and it's going to.
And I know I said it during our last stream, but I'm pretty sure he's going to end up having to kill his brother all over again, and it's going to just screw him up.
Yeah, he's. I don't think we're going to see a at peace Peacemaker at the end of the season. He's going to be more messed up than when he came in, because of what happens. And I think it's going to be a lesson that he's going to, carry with him for a long time in the DCU. Because that's how James Gunn writes characters. It's not like a sitcom where you learn nothing and everything reverts back to how it was every episode. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But then we're back to the original universe. I don't even know what to call it. We got to figure out something. But John is reprimanded by Sasha for not informing them of the eagle. And Flurry is...
He told me it was a duck.
I totally did not.
How dare he take advantage of somebody with bird blindness? I told him. And it's like...
And the best is Sasha's looking at him when he says that.
You.
Like, Sasha's looking at him like, what are you talking? Bird blindness?
What the hell is bird blindness? Oh my god. Dude is stupid.
He cracks me up there. Tim Meadows deserves a freaking an Emmy for this performance. But she ends up she's like, hey, he's got a dimension with what happened in Metropolis with half the city going down. This is priority number one. And she gets, Judo Master. She gets Red St. Wild, played by Michael Rooker, who is an eagle killer. Which...
Oh, he cracked me up. That was a hilarious character because, you can tell, he's got this aura of, yes, I'm one with nature, but his whole deal is, I just really like killing eagles. I love that he says as they're walking out to the vehicle, all right, now we're gonna, subdue the eagle and kill any eagles outside too, right? What? No, man. What's wrong with you?
It's not part of the plan. I think it's the only eagle around.
Right. And even one dude is like I think it's illegal to kill eagles, man.
Well, and think about it. Eagly is the only character in this series that gives Peacemaker love unconditionally.
Oh yeah.
And if anything happens to him, he's going to lose his mind. But of course, at the end of this episode, he comes back to his own dimension, not knowing that Argus is about to attack. So I think we're going to get one hell of an action sequence.
A cliffhanger? Oh, wait up. So now we got to wait all the way until Thursday just to find out how this is going to, play out. Is Eagly going to be okay, or is James Gunn going to just like twist and pull our hearts out of our chest?
The good news is, Rocket survived, Crypto survived, so I got a good hope Eagly will survive. But he may,
All right.
maybe
Fingers
a
crossed.
little hurt. I was hoping they would talk about his strutting after he destroyed me. I hope he struts like next week to Red Saint Wild to really like send him off the deep edge for wanting to kill him. Like it's going
Now,
to become a personal matter between these two.
what is the over under that he gets his eyes eaten out by Eagly?
By the end of the season, he's definitely getting his eyes eaten out by Eagly. I've never seen a duck eat a man's eye before.
Right. Or no, maybe it'll be like, damn, that's a mean ass turtle dove.
Oh, that would be funny. But yeah, of course, I love it too. We see Judo Master, and John's just like, oh my God.
Not this guy.
And he's still eating his flaming hot Cheetos. So that's awesome. But yeah, it looks like, of course, I knew it was coming too, because I always sit there and I'll be watching. I'm like, man, I've been watching it for a while. How much time's left? 4 minutes. Gosh darn it.
I did the same thing.
But it should be one heck of a episode 4 next week, because we should get some major things. And honestly, what happens if they do take Chris's pocket dimension and he can't get back to the dimension he loves? He might do something risky to get back there, and it may do a lot of bad things to this dimension, because if they take his pocket universe, he's going to have to find another one to get back to where he wants to be. And we know what happens when you open up these little pocket universes. If they're not stable, what it can do. So I think he's going to, I don't want to say hate it even more in this universe, but he's going to do something that causes a lot of damage in our universe, in this universe, to get back to that other universe. And he is going to do the right thing in that other universe. And when he comes back, he is not going to be loved and admired.
That's possible. I could see that potentially happening, but at the same time, I think about how long that pocket universe has existed, right? How long it's been around, because Chris didn't invent it. His father did, supposedly. Either he acquired it or he invented it. I assume he invented it, because Peacemaker also mentions that his father is the one who creates all of his helmets.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming underneath all of that hate and idiocy that there's some sort of mechanical genius in there, and that I'm guessing he must have built the pocket dimension. And it seems like that's where he does all of his work to build the helmet. So if he's been in there and he's opened it all these years and it's been stable, it's either he was tweaking it to make sure it maintains stability, and that's probably something Chris doesn't know how to do, or it's just really well built, and it's not as sloppy as Lex Luthor's.
No, but I'm just saying he will try to find a different way, not from his dad's house, to get in there. And that may set off a chain of events. Because if Argus takes his dad's house back and he doesn't have access to it anymore, it's going to be bad. But now, Hunter Iggy wants to know, do one of you have bird blindness?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't believe so, but...
However, I will state that everything with a beak, I assume, is a platypus.
Yeah.
And so far, nobody's told me I'm wrong, so...
No, you're right, dude. Absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, and
I do have a question about that pocket dimension.
Yep.
So, as far as you know, because I'm still not totally clear, is the pocket dimension just the keypad itself that activates a doorway then in his closet, or is it also a device built into his closet that the keypad then turns on? Because I'm trying to wonder how Argus would even take it.
I don't think they would take it per se. I think they will just control his dad's house. But I do
Okay.
think it is kind of the keypad opens up the dimensional gateway. Like it's just a normal closet until you type in the right code or whatever.
All right.
But even though we're not getting post-credit scenes that lead into something down the road, I did like this one too.
They're still funny.
Seeing Vigilante taking off his pants,
To
kissing him on
actually
the
take off his
forehead.
pants, right?
I washed and folded them for you. I figured you would need them today.
Honestly, I was like, that's nice, dude. That was good of him.
For being a psychopath that he is, he does take care of his friends and he cares about them. So yes, it is very nice.
I also hearing the scenes, the interactions with the other folks, they ask him like, "How many people have you killed?" And he's just so happy and smiley. I don't know. What's a ton? It's like he's just so nonchalant about it, like it's no big deal. Anyway, ask me a bird fact.
Yeah. So he now knows everything about owls. He knows everything about spiders. I mean, what's going to be next? But it is funny, because remember, part of
Right, it was a spider fact. That's what it was.
part of Peacemaker's interview with the Justice Gang, they were like, "Well, you murder a lot of people," and that was kind of one of the reasons why they kind of turned him down. And now in this new universe, we'll call it the KKK universe.
Oh God,
They're like, "Oh yeah, kill these dudes."
he's a hero. He's a hero among heroes. Everybody loves him.
That's just going to be one more little straw that when he has to pull the plug on it, it's going to be heartbreaking for him. I almost feel bad for Peacemaker because he is going to be pretty dang depressed at the end of all of this. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for this episode. We were asked Peacemaker Season 2 leading into Man of Tomorrow. That is an interesting question, which I've thought a lot about when James Gunn had talked about that. I don't know how they're going to handle this unless we get a Lex Luthor cameo at the end of the season in some way, trying to take over Argus or figuring something out. But he's in Belle Reve right now, so I don't think that'll happen. Or if somehow this season is going to pull in the big bad or the villain that's going to take place of Man of Tomorrow. It's like I don't think we have enough information yet to make a good guess on what's next, on how this is going to lead in, because right now I don't see anything that could lead into Man of Tomorrow, because and we'll talk about Man of Tomorrow in a little bit because we didn't talk about the news the other day. It does seem like Superman and Lex Luthor are going to be teaming up to take something on. And maybe that's something that's going to be hinted at the end of the season, or maybe even not even hinted at, just outright shown, which could be Brainiac, it could be something else. I just don't know how Peacemaker's little pocket dimension is going to call Brainiac, because he's not really a multi-dimensional type villain. He's a cosmic type villain. So I don't think there's enough information. I know a lot of people are out there, guaranteed we're getting Brainiac at the end of this and stuff. And I just don't think that is the case yet.
This isn't old DC.
Yes.
I think James Gunn is going to be more willing to kind of play the long game.
I do think the KKK dimension is very much like, if we met the Superman from that dimension, it might be Henry Cavill.
Oh God, not gee.
Nothing against Henry Cavill.
Terrible.
He is awesome. Just
But it
the
would
way
be
his
an
character
alternate
was written. Yeah.
Or oh my gosh, what if it was the same universe where Soviet Superman lived?
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be good. We get David Cornsweet as Red Sun Superman.
Right.
That'd be pretty cool. That would be awesome. Well, should we rate Peacemaker? I ran right past it. Episode 3, another Rick up my sleeve.
I think we should. And I gotta say, Keith, I really, really enjoyed this episode. It was fantastic. I mean, it's hard to not like Peacemaker episodes, but I was kind of harsh on last week's, if you remember.
Oh, I
Um,
do. I'm still salty over it.
didn't fully care for it as much, and it was mostly Tim Meadows' character that it felt like it was too much. It was too wild, too out of control. Like, I mean, it was just it was too much, man. Like I just didn't care for it. But this episode felt like we returned back to a normal Peacemaker episode, and we're finally unraveling this world a little bit more. We're getting more out of the story, and I've been wondering, like, what direction is this really going to go into? What's really the big threat? In the previous season, the big threat was, this alien invasion, these butterfly monsters, and that's when we get they call themselves what, the 12th Street Kids? I
11th
think
Street Kids.
11th Street Kids, yeah. And so that's where their group comes from, their triumph over these alien butterfly monsters, and now what is their mission other than just trying to deal with the fallout of what happened after the end of that mission with Amanda Waller being, under we'll call it administrative leave for the
It's a good
time
call.
being. And so, a lot of it's just been them dealing with day-to-day life. And I've been wondering, okay, so what is really going to be the fight? What's going to make them all active again and working together and bringing back the 11th Street Kids? And what is it going to be? And now I think we're realizing it's going to be this other dimension. I think at first I thought they were trying to trick us with, oh, it's going to be Argus. They're going to have to fight Argus. But I don't think so. I think they're going to be maybe a minor distraction that kind of, gets in their way. But I don't think they're the big bad. I think you're right, Keith. I think the big bad is actually going to be this alternate universe, this KKK Earth, where everybody is like evil and racist, and it's a horrific fascist government. That would be my best guess, and I am really excited to see where this goes because so far I am very invested in the character development, the world building. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and I got to give this episode an easy 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing. I don't want to call Peacemaker ignorant, but he doesn't notice subtleties. And so, him not noticing what's going on in this universe, all he knows is, God, the people love me. The woman I love loves me back. I just have to not be a jerk like I was earlier. And it's going to be slow to come, and it was so well played in this episode. Like, he's just happy that his father and brother are there. He's happy that Harcourt wants to be with him. He's happy he's revered as a hero. And what's up, buddy?
Hello.
You going to bed?
I also like how Rick Flag Jr. in this version of the universe seems more like laid back, and he's just like he's afraid of Peacemaker, and he seems more like an office boy rather than a
Yeah, because they say something about, oh, wasn't he in the Marines? And they're like, no, Army.
right.
Subtle dig at Doug. Oh,
Why do
but
you guys call him a jarhead? He was in the army.
but I mean, we're just getting it. The thing I really liked about this is like Emilia Harcourt, how different she was in this other universe, played tremendously by, I cannot think of her real name, Joel Kinnaman, playing this sort of shucks type Rick Flag Jr.
Right.
I mean, the soundtrack, James Gunn he can do no wrong with the soundtrack. Every song he picks just seems to be great. And Tim Meadows, everybody are just making, we're getting all this stuff. And of course, having it end on a freaking cliffhanger when I was ready for this, big fight, Peacemaker's coming back and they're all ready to go. But I loved it. I mean, this episode was like 40 minutes, I think, or something. And it felt like it was like 13 minutes watching it. It flew by. It was so good. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it an 8.2. I really think it was good. Can't wait for next week. Can't wait for everything about this. I can't wait till they start hinting a little more what is the big lead into Man of Tomorrow from Peacemaker Season 2. All right. Anyone out in the chat? Oh, I've been ignoring the chat at Twitch. But Tundra Walker, up there goes gravity. Lions lose laughingly. The Bears still suck. And I feel like we totally screwed up the Mandarin Rings and the whole Infinity Gem nonsense reboot. Probably. Let's see, it's Marzinix. Yo, what's up? I'm assuming y'all remember me. What Deadpool comic would you recommend me start on? Yes, we definitely remember you. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate it. Man, what Deadpool comic? Dave's more of our Deadpool expert.
I would definitely recommend anything. Well, it depends on which version of the character you like. If your only knowledge of Deadpool is from the movies, you're going to want something a bit more recent where he actually started more of his goofy persona, where he was, breaking the fourth wall constantly. Early Deadpool, he wasn't like that. The first iteration of Deadpool was essentially just a Deathstroke knockoff. So I would, my recommendation is, isn't it, what's the run called? Deadpool versus the Justice League? Where he has to like
No,
off
Deadpool.
all of them?
Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Marvel, duh. I'm thinking Peacemaker. Yes, Deadpool versus Marvel Universe. I would recommend that run because you get Deadpool interacting with like every big hero of the Marvel Universe. It's an incredible read. I mean, check that out. It's a blast.
Definitely check that out. All right, we're done with Peacemaker. If you guys have your ratings for Peacemaker episode 3, let us know. But now we're jumping into Alien Earth. Like Doug talked about, we did not stream Thursday night, so we have not had a chance to talk about episode 5, In Space, No One, which it was a flashback episode. We're not really always the biggest fans of flashback episodes, but this one I thoroughly enjoyed.
Different. Keith, I kept going back and forth because I kept thinking to myself, I know I'm supposed to dislike this. I know I'm supposed to hate this because I literally made this complaint when we were watching The Acolyte. And I said, nobody in their right mind would do this. You don't halt in the middle of a story and then do an entire episode of a flashback. That's just a poor way of storytelling. But for some reason, some weird reason that I'm still trying to reconcile with, I guess, it worked. It really worked. I think it helped that they weaved in elements of, like it's close enough. It wasn't so far back as like what they did in The Acolyte. This was within a week or two. So I think it was close enough that it was still kind of in line with our primary story. And we didn't really miss out on too much. So, oh man, blew me away. I liked this episode.
I loved it too. Oh my God, I could not. This felt like an alien film more than anything else.
It did. I thought the same thing. It felt like we were watching a movie. And by the way, I feel like this one got some budget.
Yeah, I think
it felt about as well done as episode 1.
Yeah.
So maybe they were shot at the same time.
I would imagine they did just because the actors would all be on set at the same time and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But man, I mean, they just hinted at so much. We learned so much. We got, basically Morrow's woken up. The saboteur kind of damages the ship controls, set a fire. 2 face huggers got out. The captain was killed. Another guy, the captain was killed after they tried to cut it off him. And they're like, it bleeds acid. Which,
right.
Make a little mental note for later. But they think it's all right. Hey, let's put the other guy in cryosleep. And then, we can worry about that later. And that didn't work out so well either. But this was kind of a mystery on the ship, trying to figure out who the saboteur was. Morrow was interviewing everybody. We got, oh my God, what's his name? The creepiest guy ever. What the hell is his name? I wrote it down.
Oh, Tang, I think his name was?
Yeah, Tang.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You kind of think
the way he talks with that smile, there's nothing that says I can't watch. It's like, dude, come on, man. No, he's completely an android, right?
I don't think he is.
Oh, no, I thought he was.
I don't remember them saying he was, an android or anything. He's just a weird, weird
then. Like, I was going to kind of be like, well, he doesn't know any better. He's a robot, but oh, no.
Well, not everybody is sleeping when they're supposed to.
Right. The answer is staring you in the face.
But, we find out that what's her name was having an affair with the captain, and they were looking forward to a peaceful life on Earth. And, we got more of the. I think. I can't remember her name, but she was, doing the experiments and checking things out and feeding the dead animals. And, these things were smart enough to figure stuff out. And one figured out how to pull the latch and get out. Then, of course, puts his babies in the water. And I'm just like, oh, my God, don't do it. And Octopus was like, oh, I know how to get out now. He's watching. She talks to it like it knows. And it's smart. And then, they all get called into the kitchen. And she brings her water. And when that kid drank that water, I was just like, oh no.
I cringed. I was just like, I can't watch. It was so gross. Oh my gosh. Like, I have to keep reminding myself that, because I said the same thing, I think, in our last stream, that these are not astronauts the way that we would think of them today. These are truckers in space.
Yeah.
And because I'm like, why are they so stupid? Every one of these people are like obnoxious idiots. And I'm like, I just don't understand. Then it started to occur to me, oh, because at this point in time, space travel is not a big deal. Everyone does it. And it's so, it's so normalized that, of course, they're going to hire some dude for minimum wage to work on a spaceship. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. Yeah, they are all idiots. So great.
Well, and of course, they don't want to pay them much because obviously,
yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty obvious when she's like, I want to destroy the lab or whatever, and they're like, nope, that is what you need to save. Pretty much F the crew. You better save those things, because that's what you're there for. Because everyone they sent out is expendable. They don't care. They want their specimens. And I was like, okay. And
I do have a question, and I was hoping that you or Dave would help answer this, because I don't know the Alien franchise as well as I think the two of you do. Now, we've already established that this series takes place before the first Alien movie. And I do remember, I've seen the Alien movie, I've seen Alien and Aliens, and I remember them saying on a couple of different occasions that the xenomorph was something new. It was undiscovered. They didn't fully understand it. They seemed surprised, especially Ripley seemed really surprised about this thing. And when they first go in the movie, they go into the egg chamber and the thing jumps out and breaks the helmet and all of that stuff, like, they don't know that it can do any of this. What I don't understand about this episode, and again, because the canonicity of the Alien movies, like I said, are like the Terminator movies, it's so wishy-washy at this point. I guess it doesn't matter as much, but it just seems weird to me that this crew of idiots somehow went to another planet, gathered up all these monstrous creatures, put them in tubes, loaded them on their ship. And it seems like they used the word xenomorph, so they knew what it was, apparently, when they were looking for it. Yet this other crew, also from Weyland-Yutani, with Ripley, doesn't know anything about them.
Because what is the one thing that you always heard in the military? Need to know basis. Ripley's ship did not need to know. And this was something they were obviously trying to use to their own advantage, for profit, and they're definitely not going to say, hey, we had a ship that caught these aliens and here's all the information on it. They were trying to profitize it. And obviously with Prodigy taking the ship and learning all that, as far as we know, Morrow still has all the data. I don't know if he's given it to Weyland-Yutani, because he was obviously there at the end of this episode, and it seems like Prodigy has a lot of that episode, which makes me really think they're not surviving this series.
To my knowledge, we don't hear of Prodigy in any of the other movies, so I don't think they survive.
Yeah, they've never
I'm
been
assuming
mentioned.
they are absorbed, kind words, by Weyland-Yutani.
Yes, that is they are absorbed.
What type of merger is it called?
A hostile acquisition?
Yes. Hostile takeover. That's the word I was trying to think of. I'm a business boy.
But yeah, I think that's, the reason they didn't know about it is because they were keeping that information to themselves because it was a secret project.
Mm-hmm.
But we do, after that kid drinks that water and they kind of start going, they have him in the lab and they're like trying to cut him out. And then, man, that gas just gets released.
Oh,
they
yeah.
drop and they just shut it down. They just shut down that entire lab. And I'm just like,
Which at that point, I'm kind of on Morrow's side because, like, there was no save. I've seen these things. I've seen these movies. There was no saving him. I'm sorry. It wasn't going to happen.
yep, there was nothing they could do. So you just got to count your losses and do the best you can. But
Yeah.
just
It's
seeing,
unfortunate.
just seeing them creep out then after that and go into the wall, I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
man, how many? I'm thinking, have we seen all the ones from the ship already that have gotten out, or are there going to be some more in the ship that we're going to find out later that are still out in that city or somewhere else? Because I don't think every one of those is accounted for. The little
I don't think so. And I was surprised, and I shouldn't have been, but I was surprised to see two of the alien creatures fight each other. And I was like, oh, I can't believe they're not like working together. And I'm like, oh, of course they would. On their planet, it is probably a predator-prey situation. So yeah, they're going to do what they would naturally do to each other in the wild. Of course, they're not going to think to team up against these humans. They probably don't really know.
Yeah. That's what always bugged me about that song Monster Mash. If a bunch of monsters got together, they would not be partying and dancing and all that stuff. They would be fighting to the death.
Excuse me, Keith, but I think Hotel Transylvania would like to see you after class.
I'll be good. But Tang gets killed by the xenomorph after being interviewed. We find out, or Morrow finds out that Petrovich is the saboteur, and he actually has a video of him talking to Boy Cavalier, and basically him saying, if you can crash it into Prodigy territory and all this stuff, there's big money waiting for you. We're gonna get you all set up, and of course by this time it's way too late. Morrow tries to stop him. What's his name gets killed. Petrovich kills Clem, and then Morrow kills Petrovich. And this just kind of leads into the ending that we saw in the first episode. But we get a lot more information because the octopus took over that other engineer guy.
Oh yeah, and you could, as soon as he turned his head, it was like, oh no.
When he was just standing there, and she's like, "Hey, hey," and he's just like, and then it's like, I was like, "Oh my god!"
You see the?
I was like, "Oh, I knew they were gonna do this." It still got me. And then it was such a. It's funny because you see Morrow from that first episode, and you think, God, what an absolute jerk, keeping her locked out, not trying to save her. But you see everything leading up to it, and she had made a lot of mistakes, didn't help the situation, but he also was using her as a way to make sure that he was safe. Like, if he would have let her in, the xenomorph would have got it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And seeing the xenomorph fight the octopus and her running away and all the stuff that was going on was just cinematic level awesomeness.
That's a good word for it. It really was.
I was blown away by that scene and everything and how it finished up. Even knowing what's going to happen, because we obviously saw in the first episode, it was still just awesome to watch. Edge of the seat, just like...
Same. Keith, for once during these episodes, I did not have a single phone moment. I was glued to my seat. I was like, it was such a good episode. This might be my favorite one so far this season.
It's definitely my favorite one this season too, because
I was
awesome.
even able to hand wave the stupid overlaid transparent transitions, and I was like, they're doing it again, whatever. It's a stylistic choice. Do your thing, I guess. The episode's good at least.
And it's funny because even though we knew that octopus could take over creatures, seeing it take over the guy was still like, whoa.
You know
creepy.
what? I think maybe that's what helped make this episode so darn good, and why it's so different from the flashback episode of The Acolyte. Everything tied together, I think, more with this, and the flashback felt like it still felt like it was advancing the story because we now know what that octopus eyeball creature can do. We saw what it could do in a previous episode, and now we know what things to look out for, and it kind of makes it more fun going into it because like now we know more about these creatures from, the episodes that take place a couple of days in the future.
Yep. And all of these aliens are smart and they learn.
Oh,
They
yeah.
learned how to escape from their cages and stuff. So even though the saboteur set that fire that the face huggers got out on, the other ones got out all on their own. They figured it out.
So
Which
so
is
now we know
horrifying.
next couple of episodes we're going to see them, as they're running loose in Prodigy. We're going to see how smart and advanced they are. Maybe they're going to be working together more. It's my what's next.
By the way, I loved Petrovich's final words when he said, "They want their monsters, here they come." Because that is almost exactly what the entire Alien franchise has always been about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
People's, human hubris unleashing these monsters into the world and stuff and causing all these deaths. And I was like, wow, that is a good way to tie this series into the rest of the series because, this is, and I've loved this about this. It's not just, like a horror type alien thing on a ship. They're getting into all of the, Weyland Yutani, all of the corporations and espionage and backstabbing and saboteurs and, finding out that, this was a planned event by Boy Cavalier just shows
Right.
that he
I
is.
really liked that. I loved that they brought up those records, kind of treated it a bit like a murder mystery because we got to watch Morrow kind of like reviewing everything. Okay, I do want to state something though. As an old person with bad eyesight, I did not appreciate having to continuously get up off the couch and stand 2 inches from my TV to read the computer screens and everything. Didn't like that, but that's okay. It was worth it because it was a good episode.
Yeah. I mean, it really showed what a sociopath Cavalier really is.
Yeah.
He was okay with a ship. Like, it was bad when he was like, yeah, this ship crashed in New Siam, but man, we're getting all this good information. But to know that he orchestrated it to land there so he could get this stuff, I was like, oh my God, I want to see him. It'll be when we see him get torn up by a xenomorph or whatever creature eventually kills him. It'll be much like the dude from Game of Thrones when he finally gets his, Joffrey, because he is just a complete, just horrible, rotten human being.
Only if we can see a twisted, contorted face of like as something ends up ending him. Like it's got to be as good as the Joffrey scene where you see his final moments. He's just laying there with purple veins in his face.
And the octopus takes him over for a minute and then punches himself a few times
That'd be great.
to get even for capturing him and stuff. But man,
And I like how like he's getting this guy to do his bidding, and clearly there's something up with the guy that he's asking him. He's like, I heard about your new program, how you put people into robot bodies. I want you to do that for me. Can you promise to do that for me? And Boy Cavalier is sure, whatever, man. He's not going to give this.
Yeah. Well, we know
A, he doesn't expect him to survive. B,
it only works
gonna...
in childhood minds. We've learned. So yeah, he was just telling him exactly what he wanted to hear when he wasn't really going to do it. He knew he was going to die when the ship crashed. He had no doubts. Yeah.
And even if he didn't die when the ship crashed, he probably would have ordered his soldiers to kill him. Oh, by the way, you see this guy right here?
Yeah, make sure when you go in on your search and rescue mission, he dies first. If he says he's working with us, we can't
get word getting out that I orchestrated this. Weyland Yutani can't find out.
Yeah, because when they have their meeting, because we even see at the end when Morrow's like, I thought for sure, because she's like, oh, we have oh my God, what is it when they get together, the bargaining session, or there's a word.
Oh yeah, they're when they're gonna get the lawyers. Oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called now. They're gonna like have a treaty drawn up or something.
Yeah, just a bargaining session, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to go there, and I'm gonna kill him. And at first, I thought she was gonna be like, no, we need to hold off on that. We need to see if this works. And she's like, give that man whatever he wants. And I was Oh yeah, here we go.
I thought for sure. So I think what really helped him out was the fact that he had the former Yutani spoke very highly of him. She even mentions that she's like, "Oh yeah, my grandmother spoke very highly of you, and she spoke about like how loyal you are and this and that." And so it doesn't take him much. As soon as he says, "You give me an army, and we'll march. I'll take them out." And it's like, and as soon as she was just like, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever."
So imagine
Like,
what that means.
you don't even have to twist my arm, nothing, no convincing needed.
We are
I
going
trust.
to see Wayland Yutani versus Prodigy at
Oh
Neverland
yeah,
with aliens running around attacking too. It is
and
going to be a massive craziness. It's going to be a battle with aliens running around in it too.
oh
So it's not
God.
just going to be humans versus aliens. It's one group of humans versus another group of humans against the aliens too.
So Star Wars.
Yes, it'll be Star War. We're seeing a Star War.
We're seeing a Star War. Um, you know, it every time they do something like that or mention something like that, it reminds me, like it really puts me back into the mindset that this takes place on a very different version of Earth where a company and a country's government is the same thing. The fact that you've got Wayland Yutani who has an active military and they're going to send them into some other territory and I assume Prodigy, they have their own military units. Oh yeah, of
Oh
course
yeah.
they do because that's what what's the name's brother is a part of.
Yep.
So yeah, the fact that these companies have their own standing militaries is that's wild. That is crazy. And it's honestly, it's probably not too far off from where we're headed.
Yeah, true.
Sorry to be a downer, but like, I mean,
I almost forgot about it too. We're going to have the Wayland Yutani invading force. We're going to
mhm,
have the Prodigy force protecting the island. We're going to have the aliens there. We're also going to have the hybrids,
right.
who's they're
Hmm.
not all. There's one or two that are probably still good with Prodigy, but a lot of the other ones aren't necessarily good with what's been going on. So, I mean, there is so much mayhem being thrown into what's going to happen to end this series. And with how amazing they handled this episode, I can't wait to see it all play out because
Same.
it is going to be fantastic.
So I wonder almost if there are going to be any other. So far out of the companies that we've seen in Alien Earth, we know that it's we've got Wayland Yutani and then we've got Prodigy. I wonder if any of the other companies that we know exist in the Alien franchise, if they're going to see this as an opportunity to be like, hey, well, they're fighting each other. We can sneak in and grab one of the new kid units or whatever,
Yeah,
one of
no,
those hybrids.
they could, or even try to get some of the alien stuff. I mean, there's so much they can do with this. They've really written themselves into a wonderful spot where a lot can happen, and as long as it continues to be as well written and acted as we've gotten so far, man, it's what do we got? 3 episodes left.
Is that it? Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
8 episodes. So yeah, we got 3 episodes left
Hmm.
because it has been fantastic. And he did say Noah Hawley did say this season 1 is just to show it can be done, and he's got multiple seasons mapped out already. So I've not seen any, you know, not ratings. I've seen ratings. A lot of people are loving it, but I haven't seen how many people are watching. I can't think of what that's called at the moment. But
Oh, the oh my gosh, audience. Yeah, I can't think of the word either. Boy, end of the week, right?
Sunday night, yay! Yeah,
Hmm.
it's.
Oh man,
I'm hoping it's doing well because I want to see more seasons of this because it's been great. And
I guess viewing numbers, is that it?
yeah, they call it
I guess.
something else though, but it is viewing. How many viewers basically are
Hmm.
tuning in every week, and I haven't seen anything on it, but I'm hoping
Neither
it's
have
up
I.
there because we got so much that
Honestly,
can
I
go on.
don't see anybody really talking about it either. Like I've seen some news articles, but I don't think I've actually seen any of the YouTubers who would normally like discuss these kind of things. Maybe I they just aren't showing up on my front page, but I literally have not seen anything pop up from, your new rock stars or screen crushes or anything like that.
Yeah, no. The only person I saw talking about it online was Mina Kimes. You're probably
Really?
like, who is that, Keith? She is an NFL reporter for ESPN. And the reason she's,
Random?
yes, she was talking about it. And I was like, oh my God, that's great. She's awesome because when she is on shows, she has a pavement record sitting behind her.
Oh,
Wowie zowie. So she loves great music, she loves Alien Thing, and she loves the NFL. So
nice.
she's got great taste. But I think she's a Seahawks fan, not a Packers fan. But we won't get into that. But yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of people are really talking this, breaking it down. So I'm hoping it's getting good viewing. I hope a lot of viewers are tuning in. One day I'll remember what the hell that's called. And it is totally setting a stage for like a corporate war. And we may, like you said, it may not just be Prodigy and Weyland-Yutani. We may get other ones involved, and that'll be interesting all to see, especially if, Weyland-Yutani takes over Prodigy, but there's still remnants. People escape and let other corporations know they got stuff on Neverland that you really want if you want to make profits. So it could really, blossom into something, a world war type thing with the corporations.
It's funny. I went to the Alien Wikipedia page to try and see like what all the major corporations are. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, there's Weyland-Yutani, there's Prodigy, there's something called Sieg Sun, Verizon? Huh. Okay. So they exist in the future and are now evil. Great. All right. Oh, Caterpillar. Oh, wow. So they're still around. I'm scrolling through this list of Harley Davidson. Huh.
Whoa.
Imagine the Harley Davidson space cruiser going to. We're going to get aliens on motorcycles if it's the last thing we do.
They've got the Peacemobile or whatever Peacemaker's motorcycle is called.
You know what? That's kind of a cool looking motorcycle.
It definitely was. All right. Should we rate this 5th episode of Alien Earth? In space, no one.
I think so. Would you like to start or would you like me to?
Yeah, sure, I can start. Like I said, when I saw it was going to be a flashback episode, I was a little hesitant only because other shows have not handled flashbacks that well in recent memory. This was not the case for this. They nailed this. It was like a movie more than anything else, and a really good movie at that. And I was intrigued the entire time. I was on the edge of my seat. They did so many things, even though we had seen it before. They stepped it up and taught us more about these aliens, how intelligent they are, how they learn, what they can do, how they reproduce, and all this crazy stuff. And it was just a fantastic film that made choices I thought in the first episode were bad make a lot more sense. And that's what any flashback should do. It should fill you in, give you more information, and just finding out. The biggest reveal, I think, was Boy Cavalier talking to Petrovich and basically promising him all this stuff and orchestrating everything that has happened. So no one will feel sorry for him when he gets what he has coming, whether at the end of season 1 or whenever it happens. But, everything about this, the score was fantastic, the acting was good. I just enjoyed everything about this. I'm going to give this episode an 8.7. I thought it was the best episode of this series so far, and I cannot wait to see more.
I have to agree with pretty much everything that you said there, Keith. The minute I realized that it was a flashback episode, I had a sour look on my face. I'm like, oh no, of course it figures they're going to be a crap, series just like The Acolyte. There's no reason that you should do this. I'm like, I swear they had better intercut. They better do this right. And I better advance the story. And as I'm watching it, and as I'm I'm realizing I don't want to miss anything. So anytime I think I did, I'm rewinding it and I'm going back. And like I said, I'm getting up off my couch to go look at the screen closer, make sure that I'm not missing anything. And then halfway through, I'm like, wait a minute, do I like this episode? Am I enjoying this? And I'm like, I do. I am liking it. What the heck is going on with me? Oh no. This is
One
good.
of us. One of us. One of us.
And I did for a minute. I started questioning like the canonicity of it all, and I'm like, I wonder if this even makes any sense. And then, I had to accept that this, like a lot of other really long-running franchises that span multiple movies and comics and everything, eventually certain things aren't always going to match up. I mean, we run into that in Star Wars between the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and we kind of have to hand wave it because George just had a better idea in the prequels that he hadn't thought of in the original trilogy. And for the most part we're okay with it. So once I, had to accept that in and of so I'm just like, all right, fine, hand wave it. It's fine. It's worth it. And then I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. So we're learning more about how these ships operate and how they just hire any idiot off the street because all of these people are morons. And then we're involved in this murder mystery, and we're watching like, and I like how they're explaining. They knew exactly what to target. They got the navigational system, they got the fuel system, and and I also liked how they revealed that he was pretending to be asleep in his pod, and that's how he was sneaking around and getting away with all of this. And so we're learning more about these different characters that were on this ship, and it kind of makes you understand Morrow a little bit more. Like you're not siding with him completely because he's still not a good guy. There really aren't very many good guys in this show, so, save for the kids. I mean, they're innocent because they're kids. But you understand the decisions that Morrow makes now. And it makes a little bit more sense why he locked himself in the mother room and, seemingly acting like a dick to everybody else. But, now that you know that basically the rest of the ship had been killed and it was really down to him and her, and trying to save her would have killed himself too.
He needed her to save
Yeah,
himself.
yeah, he did, unfortunately. And he was very loyal to Wayland Yutani. It seems incredibly loyal to Yutani herself because he brings that up multiple times. He brought that up in the previous episode, and then he brought it up again in this one when he, mentioned it to the woman who was becoming the new captain. And he's like, this order comes from Yutani herself.
Yep.
But yeah, excellent episode. I shouldn't have liked it as much as I did. Like everything in me tells me that I shouldn't have enjoyed this, but honestly, I think that they did things different. What the Acolyte did wrong is it didn't advance anything. It didn't do anything to advance the story in any meaningful way. And if anything, it made us actually scratch our heads and ask more questions. But this, it opens up the universe and it actually developed the characters more. We learn a little bit more about how these aliens operate. And while they are smarter than we thought they were, the fact that they were able to figure out how to break out of their cells, they are still, at the end of the day, just animals, right? And they're going to fight each other too. So I liked being able to see that. I liked just, watching how they were moving about on the ship and how essentially these are space truckers. And I like the description. We're like a rocket headed towards Earth, and then what the line that you pointed out, they want their monsters, they're going to get their monsters. But the fact that it turns out that all along this was all a plan by the Boy Cavalier. It's expected, but still crazy. Great revelation.
That was a tremendous revelation.
So I am going to give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. It was very good. It was excellent. Didn't have any phone moments. I want to see more of this. You guys keep this up. I keep getting good episodes like this. I think my score is going to keep going up.
If they can keep up this quality for the last 3 episodes, I'm going to be very, very happy.
Oh, yeah.
But how about you guys out there in the chat? What do you think? On the Doug scale from 1 to 10, with 5 being average, let us know what you thought of Alien Earth's 5th episode. In space, no one. But now, we got some news and notes. We got You know what? I'm going to start with DCU. I know I usually ask,
Okay.
but because we haven't streamed in such a long time,
Mm-hmm.
well, does that look, the logo is messed up in OBS. Hold on, just let me fix it. We're going to start with DC Studios only because this
Oh, is
information
it
has been out.
messed up because it's set up for 3 people?
Yes, yes.
Ah, okay.
But now it's all good, and we're moving to DC Studios. It's fitting. So we have a couple. The first one has been out there for a while, and that is the next movie in the Superman saga is going to be Man of Tomorrow. It is coming out July 9th, 2027. We've got some artwork that was shared by James Gunn, David Cornsweet, and Nicholas Hoult, which shows Superman and Lex Luthor in his famous green and purple suit, which, if you look to your screen, I have a little slideshow that you can all watch that shows some of the different artwork. One, they're fighting. One, it looks like they're kind of buddies. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes, if they are teaming up to take on a larger threat. But that will be coming to movie screens around July 9th, 2027, which we also get The Batman Part 2 in 2027 in October.
Nice.
And I read that one of the things that James Gunn wants to do is have the trilogy all have their own movies in 2027. So it sounds like DC Studios wants to get a Wonder Woman movie out in 2027 also.
As long as the script is good and they've got a decent actor.
Yep.
Now, my question for you, Keith, and I'm curious if you know this or not, or if you've heard any rumors. How is the Supergirl movie? How is that going to tie into Man of Tomorrow?
They have not said yet. The only thing that is thought is that Lobo will appear in Man of Tomorrow after appearing in Supergirl. So
Interesting. That would be cool. I'd like to see
Yeah.
that.
And James Gunn has already said he's completed the treatment for this movie, and he expects to start filming soon. So he said, I got to finish up the script, and once that's done, we'll be ready to start filming. Like, he's been working on this for months probably already, which makes
What
sense.
if
Super
that's who we see at the end of Peacemaker? What if Lobo comes to Earth?
That would be awesome.
And I mean, it would be fitting the fact that oh my God, what is the actor's name again?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa, since he was like one of the only ones who actually spoke at the end credits, the original end credits scene of Peacemaker season 1. It'd be funny if Jason Momoa came back now this time as Lobo.
That would be great. Well, now, it's funny you brought up Supergirl,
Okay.
because a rumor has started circulating that DC Studios wants to move Supergirl from its June 26, 2026 release
Yeah.
to the untitled film slot on May 29th, 2026.
Really?
So shoot it up about a month,
Okay.
which hey, the sooner we get it, the better. I'm all for it.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, so what does that mean about this untitled film slot? Does that mean that maybe whatever they had expected to go there, it isn't working out, or maybe it still needs some tweaking?
It may need the month to finish up, so they'll switch spots or something along those lines. But, I mean, Supergirl is pretty much wrapped. They're editing, obviously. All the filming's done. They may have some reshoots. We don't know yet. But it's pretty much done and ready to go. So I think there's a good shot it'll move up. Because it sounds like...
you.
Thank you. Sounds like DC may need that. But I love it. James Gunn is moving his stuff along. I'm hoping they keep with the same level of quality. Don't, worry too much about everything needing to touch. And James Gunn have even said every creator can put their own spin on the stuff. Obviously there'll be some things we need to tie into the universe, but make it your own movie. So that is good. Now,
That's awesome to hear.
Now, next, we got some MCU.
Okay, what chair did they present this time?
I got to fix the MCU one, too. No chairs this time, sir. None. There are no chairs. The first one, now, this isn't really a rumor, but Tobey Maguire was spotted in London yesterday. You'll say, Keith, who cares? Both Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday are currently filming in London.
Oh, all right. So he's either there for Brand New Day and or he's going to have a scene in Doomsday.
Yes, that's what it sounds like. I would lean more towards Doomsday because with all that's going on, we've heard in Brand New Day, they don't need to add the multiversal aspect to it. But having him in Doomsday leading into Secret Wars makes a lot more sense. And I'd be okay with seeing him again. Spider-Man No Way Home was great. I still love that movie. So, hey, bring him back. Now, this next one is a Channing Tatum quote. He was teasing Avengers Doomsday, and I bring it up for a reason. He says, "You just can't understand what this is going to be. Anybody that has loved these things growing up, it's going to melt your brain. It's going to be the biggest thing that they've ever done. That is for sure."
Okay, sure.
It gets back to the point I think we've all been making for a while. You don't have to have everything be that much bigger than the thing before it. I don't want to have every Avengers movie be the biggest thing that ever was. I want to see them fight like the Wrecking Crew for a movie, or fight Kang. Kang's no longer the big bad. Maybe after the multiversal saga wraps up, they can just have an Avengers movie where they fight Kang for the movie. And not have to have...
Some of my favorite stuff from the Fantastic Four movie was them just interacting with Mole Man.
Yeah.
That was fun. Give me more of that. I mean, I don't get what they're not learning from stuff like this. Do you know how happy people were when they said they were bringing Daredevil back? And how after they, ran it through test audiences and realized that their original version was garbage and they just needed to make it more like it was? And it's like, I'm struggling to understand what they're not figuring out.
I don't know. I think it's the same thing when the Punisher was revealed to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah.
It, trended on social media for days and weeks. People want that stuff. They want those stories. Not everything has to be a massive... And then they're
like, okay, so they like the Punisher. Let's put Hulk in there too. It's like, no, you guys are missing the point.
I'm hoping him being there makes sense and it adds, it leads well. But it is an odd choice to have the Hulk in a grounded movie. But, the Hulk and Spider-Man, I've interacted many times in Spider-Man and Hulk comics. So it may work out, but I agree. It was an odd choice. I hope it does work out. But you don't have to do everything to top everything else. And that was the thing we were so worried about with Brand New Day. Oh my God, No Way Home, made so much money. We got to top it. We got to do more multiverse and more of this.
It's like, bring them back in again. We're going to open up those gates. We're going to get multiple Tom Hollands, and we're going to have them interacting with each other, and they're going to do the pointing thing again. You all liked that, didn't you?
You did the first time. They'll love it even more the second time. We like new things. So as much as I hope Doomsday is huge and great and I love it, God, slow down the needing to top.
Right.
Make everything bigger. We don't need 400 actors in the next Avengers movie from anyone who's ever been in a comic book movie or read a comic book. It isn't needed.
And I don't know if I'm the only one who just has this sort of tired, almost disgusted reaction to it all, just because every time they announced and this actor is going to be it and this character, I'm just like, I don't care. I do not care anymore who else you're shoving into this movie. I need the story to be good, and I don't think you're grasping that, Marvel.
You can have a movie that is just one hero, one villain, write it well, have good actors do it, and it will do great. You don't
it was
need
called
to go
Iron Man. It was good, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Excellent point. It's just, God, these executives just can't learn the lessons they should be learning. It's okay to have these big team-up movies every once in a while, but the MCU did just fine before Infinity War and Endgame. So you don't have to have everything be Infinity War and Endgame. Just write good stories and build up to something again. Not everything needs to melt our brains.
And Marvel, I know that you guys watch us, Kevin Feige. I know that you pay attention. You tune in every time we stream. Please note, your takeaway from what we just said should not be, oh, Keith and Doug just mentioned Iron Man. You know what? Maybe just making Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom. That isn't enough. We're bringing him back. He's the new Captain America.
And he's also going to be Daredevil.
Right.
We need more. But
Why
we love
not?
Charlie Cox. Well, then he'll be Spider-Man. No,
Yeah, but
no.
Keith and Doug, they said Iron Man is good. And we translated that as we need Robert Downey Jr. literally playing every role.
Okay, this final thing for tonight is Star Wars related.
Ooh, you know I like my Star Wars news. Okay.
Now, this was during when Tony Gilroy was being interviewed.
Okay.
And he teased that Lucasfilm is developing some unusual Star Wars projects. He said
Really?
there's some things that they're building that are really unusual. I think that lesson of letting your freak flag fly is being taken to heart.
Oh, thank God somebody is taking something to heart.
I hope that's true. And I hope these, projects see the light of day. They are so... Lucasfilm under Disney has been so... This worked before, let's do it again. The Force Awakens was so much A New Hope. The Last Jedi I enjoyed. I know a lot of people, it was very divisive among fans. I enjoyed The Last Jedi. I thought it was really well done. But then, I can't remember what it was called. The Last Skywalker. What the hell? Oh,
The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Was almost universally hated by pretty much everybody.
Remember, we kept thinking it was called The Rise of the Skywalker.
Yeah.
And even today, all of our theories and everything that we thought was going to be in that movie makes so much more sense than the product that we got. You're right. It was pretty universally hated. And even all of the people that are, were like screaming and crying and moaning, oh my gosh, we hate Rian Johnson. He's ruined Johnson. Even they couldn't come together and admit that, like, even they're like, yeah, that was a bad movie. They literally gave us what we wanted and it was bad.
Wretched. So yeah, I hope they take it to heart. I hope they start doing new and different things and really just testing things out, do experimental things. I love the fact Star Wars Visions, the anime series they got where they let all these anime creators do their own Star Wars stuff. It doesn't have to fit to canon. They just write whatever they want, and it's fun, it's enjoyable. More stuff like that to bring back to fans. And,
I'd be down for that, yeah. And we said this a long time ago, like either last year or early this year. Something that I would actually kind of kill to see. I think it'd be a great idea. I see a lot of YouTubers doing this, and like I'm not asking, Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm to steal this idea, but if they did a Star Wars What If, that would be kind of neat. Explore some alternate ideas of like, what if this happened in the world of Star Wars? Then you can, if you want to still talk about the same characters because you're too afraid to expand out of the Skywalker era, you can do that. Just make these what if episodes.
Yeah, I think they already already got the first episode ready. It's what if Anakin Skywalker wasn't really a Sith Lord, but really just an informant for the FBI to turn
I heard that too. I heard that that's actually what happened. To see, he wasn't best friends with Palpatine, with Emperor Palpatine, aka the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Sidious. No, in fact, why are we still talking about that guy? It's not like, seriously, get over it. That was so last year.
Let's talk about the. Oh my God, I can't.
Release the Sith files.
I was trying to remember what was the one group in Andor that was. She was a part. Oh my God.
You know, with the sort of French-like people.
No, not the Gore, but the group that the blonde lady.
Oh my gosh. Jews. Geez, the security thing. What is it?
Yeah,
The ISB. The
yeah,
ISB.
the ISB.
Yes.
They
Imperial Security Bureau.
they were the ones who hired Anakin to infiltrate,
Yeah,
Sidious
that's
and
it.
make sure find out what was really
All
going on.
undercover, and also the ISB were the good guys all along, and not bad, and they were secretly trying to undermine Darth Sidious because they knew. Yeah, that's it.
That is definitely what happened.
We're getting canceled, aren't we?
Yes, we are. But with that being said, that's all we got for tonight. We will not be back Thursday night again this week, but we'll be back Friday. I've got another thing with my kids' school to do on Thursday. Plus, the Packers are playing Thursday night football against the Washington Commanders. So we'll be back Friday talking Alien Earth. We'll be back next Sunday talking Peacemaker episode 4. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of cool things going on. We got wonderful things. Dave will be back on Friday. But we need to find somebody to raid.
Well, I see that Potastic P is on playing Hollow Knight and Silk Song, and I'm hearing nothing but good about that game.
I've been watching TG play it, and it is fantastic.
I tell you what, I did not know that it was produced with only 3 people, and that they're only charging $20 for it. That is wild. That's awesome.
The first game, I forget how much it sold, but when they
Hmm.
announced Hollow Knight Silk Song, it sold like an additional 7 million copies or something. And yeah,
Really?
it's a 3-man development team,
Hmm.
and they're just like, I'm sure someone we buy you? We want to come out with 50, Silk Song games. They're like, no, we're good. We're making
Yeah.
enough money, and we're doing what we want to do and making games that we want. Yeah,
Same thing happened with one of my other favorite games, um, Stardew Valley. Great game. It's 2 people, and it's an excellent game. It's really fun, and the guy is still constantly updating it, making new additions onto the game. It's great.
it is a fun game. Okay, how do I spell this person's name?
Here I will put it in the doodly do
Perfect.
to make it easier. There you go.
Excellent. Copy.
Now, for all of you wonderful people out there watching us, rating is just a little tool that we have here on Twitch. It lets us take all of you wonderful people that are watching us live on Twitch and head over to another channel, somebody that we also like to hang out with and watch. And this way, if you're not quite ready to turn off the screen, you still want to maybe check out what other people are doing. Can kind of keep the party going, so to speak. Now, unfortunately, YouTube doesn't quite have anything as simple and easy to use as type in user's name, initiate raid. No, YouTube's got to be difficult and be a diva about it. So, if you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Please come back, watch more, and to remember, make sure you subscribe, like the video if you liked it, only if you liked it. If you didn't, comment down below. And of course, we'll see you next time on Friday. Remember, on Friday, right here on Not Your Status Quo. Hey, fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.